Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, President of BFS. If you haven't already, you may want to go back and review the first two videos in this series on dealing with problem employees in your childcare center or school. But if you've already reviewed those two videos, then it's time to move on to the next step, which is meeting with the problem employee. In some cases, the misbehavior of a problem employee will be blatant, and the conversation will take on more of a direct tone. However, in most cases, the issue will be less obvious and it will require less aggressive measures. For those of you who need the abbreviated version, it is as follows. I'll give you the longer, more detailed version right after the short version. So, when you meet with the employee, you need to 1. Put yourself on an even level with the employee. 2. Recognize the person without becoming emotional about it. 3. When the moment comes, don't be afraid to step into the issue. 4. Whenever possible, ask open-ended questions. 5. After the employee begins to talk, let the employee talk until the employee stops. 6. The issue is normally easier to fix after you've listened to your employee. 7. Consider the facts carefully and then decide on the best solution. Okay, that's the abbreviated version. Here's how it works. Put yourself on an even level with the employee. While this may not be true in the boss-employee relationship, it is true as people. At the end of the day, you are the boss and both of you know it. There's no need to accentuate this fact at this juncture. Next, recognize the person without becoming emotional about it. Some employees respond to constructive criticism well, while others are so critical of themselves that they respond much better to encouragement when they make a mistake. Third, when the moment comes, don't be afraid to step into the issue. The employee will know that something is coming. Waiting too long to discuss the issue will cause anxiety to rise and focus to decline for the employee and you. Be sincere, be direct. Fourth, whenever possible, ask open-ended questions. Remember, this is, first, a fact-finding mission for you. After you ask a question, stop talking. Now, there may be an uncomfortable silence. Don't talk. Wait for as long as it takes. Most people have a tendency to want to talk and alleviate the awkwardness of the moment, but don't do it. The person across from you will talk. After the employee begins to talk, let the employee talk until the employee stops. The more the employee talks, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better equipped you are to fix the issue with this employee. As a bonus, you may also learn things that'll help you fix other parts of your company. These things can be as simple as stopping another employee from stealing supplies, to a director that's pocketing cash from unreported clients, to systemic problems related to the federal food program. It is very important to let your employee talk. Next, the issue is normally easier to fix after you've listened to your employee. If the issue is easy to fix, then fix it. Okay. Include the employee in your arrival at the solution. Okay. Make sure that it makes sense to the employee and that the employee is on board with the solution. If the answer to the problem isn't clear, then don't fix it yet. Tell the employee that you appreciate the conversation, that you will take everything into consideration, and you'll get back to him or her as quickly as possible. Then, get back to him or her as quickly as possible. Okay? It's nerve-wracking for an employee to walk around with a cloud overhead. Performance suffers, and the employee may become convinced that he or she needs to look for another employer in spite of the fact that you may very well want to keep the employee. Consider the facts and decide on the best solution. Assuming the employee and the circumstance are salvageable, explain your expectations to the employee very clearly. Explain that you want the employee to be part of your mutual or collective work. Make sure the employee confirms that he or she understands completely and is in complete agreement. If the employee is not in complete agreement or seems unsure, flush out any hesitation to ensure that nothing has been missed. If something has been missed, ask questions and let the employee talk. If you decide that the employee needs to pursue a career path somewhere else, then I recommend that you consult with your HR department and/or an attorney educated and experienced in these matters. Some people would say that it's overkill, but I have never talked with an officer, executive, or owner of a childcare company or school that complained about being overly prepared. If you think that you have an employee that may be vindictive, you may want to have your attorney sit in on the meeting when the employee is dismissed, as your attorney can explain to the employee that any dishonest or vindictive acts will be dealt with directly and aggressively. Okay, that's a long one, but details are important. In the fourth and final video in this 4-part series, we'll discuss the last steps to dealing with problem employees. Best to you. Take care.